What's up, YouTube? What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, the author. Right back at that ass again. Here's another one. I just thought I'd make this quick video, man. Didn't plan to make this video, but I had to, man. I just, whenever I get inspired, I have to go out and I have to make something, man. The creative juices keep flowing. Like I said before, I don't really make videos, man. I don't really make videos, when I don't have anything to say. So if I am making a video, I have something to say or something that I feel strongly about. So I was watching this video just now, man, and some of what this brother was saying kind of touched on a previous video I had made too. I think the one I had entitled "What the Hell is Going On?" But black people as a whole, investing in other communities, black people making fun of other. I talked about how blacks make fun of the blacks when I was growing up. Blacks making fun of me when I didn't have the Nikes, and if you didn't spend the most on the white man's products, pretty much blacks will make fun of you, for not having Nikes or for not having, for not buying something expensive, and what they were buying, that money wasn't going to generate through their community. So it's just real stupid shit in hindsight. But and I do believe that as a whole, we're kind of silly when it comes to purchasing on. And then I was talking to how, kids make fun of other kids as far as not really having the Nikes, and then that snowballs when they become adults. And, adults might make fun of other adults because they didn't buy the Lexus or all that other, or when it comes to the chains and all that other shit that don't mean anything. And I think we keep that same mentality as far as in the black community, especially I know as being a black American, quote unquote. But yeah, so I was listening to this brother's video, man, and he was hitting on some of them same points, and he was saying how pathetic that is for blacks not to support other blacks. And he was talking about blacks on YouTube not supporting other blacks in terms of asking for patrons and support, especially with all this YouTube stuff going on where advertisers are pulling their ads from people's videos. A lot of YouTubers are being hit pretty hard. People who are making pretty good money on YouTube, doing a lot of hard work and research, putting out information out to the people, and now they really can't sustain what they like to do. They can't sustain their research because YouTube has pulled, a lot of advertisers have pulled their ads from YouTube because YouTube is going to end up going pop anyway. I think they're going to become a TV. They're going to be part of that TV thing, and it may be getting ready to. This may be a small piece, and where they're going to pretty much make the internet like they have TV, where they can pretty much, what they call it, centralize it, where they're going to have total control, where you're not going to even be able to be on it unless you follow a certain format, just like regular TV. But to make a long story short, man, he was talking about blacks not supporting blacks and blacks not supporting black businesses and things of that nature. But and I do agree to a great extent. But here's the thing, man. A lot of these black businesses have failed the people, man. I can see why people have gotten confused. Man, he was talking about black billionaires out in, I think the richest black man is out in Africa. He's worth 15.7 billion in Nigeria, and no black American is worth like $10 billion or something like that. And basically there's black car dealerships in Nigeria and things like that, and black Americans and even black Africans won't support it. Now, will I look for a black owned dealership? I mean, I'm not opposed to getting a black owned vehicle, but here's the thing, and he was talking about how in reverse, like as far as black supporting black patrons on YouTube, that blacks don't support other blacks on YouTube, as far as he doesn't really have as many patrons as he feel he should. along with other blacks, but whites support other whites in terms of patrons, and they do the same thing in the real world. Well, this is the real world, but they do the same thing in the physical world where they support each other business wise. But here's the thing, man. To make a long story short, a lot of black businesses, man, I got questions about that, and I'm going to use an example, because he's talking about blacks don't support other black businesses. So, so you can't really complain about white supremacy and stuff like that, but you're not supporting your own. But there's truth in that, but there's a flip side. A lot of black businesses I have question marks on though, and here's why I think they're losing a lot of the people's support. And the example he brought up with this Nigerian dude who's rich, showing the blacks Nigerians aren't really supporting him or something like that, or like they should be, or I think blacks not buying black owned cars from Africa or whatever, something like that. And he was using that as an example. So not only black Americans don't support other black Americans, but even in Africa, certain Africans don't support other Africans in terms of business too. But here's the thing. Here's one example he used that I thought was interesting, because now I have a question. I've been having a question mark on black businesses too for a while. Like we had a black business I remember in Rochester called All Day Sunday. They sold clothing and apparel. And back in the day, my mother went there to buy. I remember when the Malcolm X movie came out in '92. Everybody wanted the X hat with the X symbol on it, and she was going to go there to buy it because it was a black business. And the motherfucking hat cost 3 times as much at the black business than it did when she went someplace else. And granted, it had a different feature and a different look, but it was like, well, I can go here and get it for 5, and you charging me 20. But here's the thing too. Another thing, not just a lot of black businesses, and just like the one when I was I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's a place, South Park Mall, man. The black lady set up this cupcake stand. And it's a black girl she has selling it. Mostly only blacks gonna buy from you. So, but she got the cupcakes. She charging like $4 a cupcake for regular size cupcakes. And of course, they went out of business pretty quick. But I'm like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Who else is gonna buy this shit? And you go to them and try to make a deal. They're like, nah, you gotta pay $4. I'm like, every time I come by this bitch, I'm the only one trying to buy a cupcake. I'm not saying I'm trying to get something for free, but I mean that's expensive. As I'm like, what type of flour is you putting in that bitch? Like, what? Like this? Yeah, that must be a fool of a recipe. Like, goddamn, I can give me 4 or 5 trays. But here's the thing. Here's the thing that he brought up that I thought was important. So he pulled up this dude, man. It's this African dude. He's supposed to be the richest guy, the richest black in the world, right? Can't really pronounce the dude's name. I think it's Aliko Dangote, something like that, right? Richest black person in the world, right? Dude is worth $15.7 billion, bro. $15.7 billion, okay? He's a Nigerian cement tycoon. Now, I can't really pull everything up because I don't got those capabilities, but I can tell you from the research, right? Okay. You can look this up. 15.7 billion, right? This dude is worth. Okay. Richest black person in the world, right? So, I think he's from Nigeria, right? All right. So, here's the thing. Right? Roughly between 12 to 15.7 billion this dude is worth, right? Nigerian billionaire, Nigerian cement tycoon, right? Okay, he's from Nigeria. But check this out. Okay, Nigeria is one of the poorest countries in the world, bro. It said Nigerians' poverty has risen to over 61%, bro. Nigerians' poverty has risen to over 61%, bro. And you know it's mostly only blacks over there. Because if whites' poverty, if whites had a country with a poverty level was rising like that, they'd do anything. They destroy whatever they had to destroy to get that money. You know what I'm saying? 61%, their poverty rises to 61%. They said 60% is living in absolute poverty, right? Over 100 million, the whole country is the most populated country in Africa, right? They have over 182.2 billion people, right? So 182.2 billion people. So about what? A third of what America has. I think America's population is over 300 million. Okay, 182.2 billion people. A lot of people for an African country. All right, check this out. Over 100 million are living of that 182.2 million. Over 100 million are living on less than $1 a day. That's like over 100 million are living on less than $1 a day. Less than $1 a day, bro. And they're supposed to be one of the richest countries in Africa. They're known for what's that? Their oil accounts. Oil accounts. Oil accounts for nearly 80% of their state revenue. Now here's where all this connects. Now, somebody talk to me about this shit. So they have 182.2, let's break this shit down. They have 182.2 million people. Over 100 million of them are living on less than $1 a day. Okay? 61% of the people live below the poverty level. 60% are living in absolute poverty where they can't afford shit. So if you were $15.7 billion, right? You got this business. How is the country you're from so fucked up? Why can't you fix some of that shit just by yourself? Because some countries don't even have what he has by himself. So somebody got to talk to me about this shit, right? Because here's the thing. I got I'm not saying I'm going to give all that shit away, but I got $15.7 billion, bro. Ain't no reason why my country should be fucked up like that. I repeat that. I'm worth $15.7 billion, bro. And my country is flat like that. And you know they all black. Even Bumpy Johnson, bro, when he sold that shit. He was selling heroin in Harlem back in the day. Before my time, but I did the research. He at least handed out turkeys every Thanksgiving. And he wasn't nearly worth as much as this dude. I'm like, bro, that's my thing. That's my thing about black businesses, man. Even the one that was all day Sunday. You know, I didn't see where they had any. Now we in Rochester, New York, man. That's a rough town, basically because there's really no jobs for minorities. It's really no jobs for the poor. You know what I'm saying? It's really the type of thing where you would either have to have, if you don't have it's either white collar jobs or like either skilled labor or professional. There's really not too many. You can't really make a decent paycheck with unskilled labor in Rochester. So, you know, one of the two is at the time, especially when I was growing up, before Kodak went bankrupt, they're one of the primary businesses up there. And they used to lay off all the time. My friend's mother used to work for them, and she used to make good money. But my point is, she had skilled labor. She wasn't a professional with a degree, but it was skilled labor where she knew how to work with chemicals. My point being, so a lot of the kids there are just fucked, just messed up. I ain't gonna say as bad as the poverty level in Nigeria, but they was way below, you know, what should have been the standard here in America. And there's no recreation centers, really. None of substance, none that are really decent and clean. But you will have a black owned business. It's like, well, what type of jobs are you creating aside from hiring your mans and them? What type of, how are you trying to improve the economy in Rochester? What type of events are you putting on for the kids to keep them out of trouble? See, and that's why whites, I think, support other white businesses, because they know in the long run they're going to get something back. Because nobody's just going to pour money in your pocket and you ain't really going to do shit for them. And I think that's what's going on with these black businesses, man. I'm like, where somebody sit down and explain this to me. Maybe I'm dumb. Where is the money going? What is the black businesses doing with this money, man? How do you have $15.7 billion in your country? 61% of them is living below the poverty level. Out of 182 million people, 100 million is living on less than $1 a day. Like, what are you doing for your people? Like, what? I mean, that's what dude was saying about I was listening to this radio broadcast. These dudes that used to be signed at the Jay-Z. My man was like, he said, I don't understand it. He said, because if I was worth, at the time they said Jay-Z was worth $600 million. He said, if I was worth $600 million, he said, wouldn't nobody I knew, nobody I know would be poor. He said, wouldn't, there's no one I would know that wouldn't have money. If I'm worth $600 billion, I'm sorry, 600 million. He was that's what he, at that time, I think it was like the mid 2000s, he was looked at as being like worth 600 million. He's like, if I was worth $600 million like he is, he's like, wouldn't nobody I know would be poor, pretty much. Everybody I knew would have something. Meaning my family, my core, you know what I'm saying, everybody in the business. And that's the thing. And I'm not saying you ain't gonna be no fool and give away all your money, but I'm saying you got $15.7 billion, bro. A lot of these major businesses is starting up that white startup, they have a lot less than that. And they hiring hundreds and thousands of other white people. And they ain't even got nearly that much to work with. How much it cost to start up Walmart didn't cost no 15.7 billion. And then they go out and they build that little business and they hire whoever the fuck they want to hire. Now you got $15.7 billion and your country is assed out like that. Just buttocks out. Buttocks. And that's the thing going on with black businesses around the world, man. You gotta look out for your people. Ain't nobody gonna just pour money in your pocket and you ain't hiring them. You ain't doing nothing to improve their community. Now, I'm not saying you can fix all the inner cities by just throwing money at it. But these brothers who are gonna come to work every day with strong resumes, trying to make something of themselves, you should be having a business to be hiring these brothers, man. You know what I'm saying? I worked for many people in my life. Never go to Indeed.com. Haven't seen too many ads for black businesses saying they want to hire somebody. Everybody I've worked for has always been a white company. So my point is, why if you got 15.7 billion, you got billions of dollars, where are these businesses where you hiring who the fuck you want to hire? This business that I've just signed on to now, I think a Hispanic brother owns it, and you see a lot, I finally see a professional job that's a good job where you see a lot of brothers in there working. One of the first job I've ever had in my life where I could sit down. It's a desk job. It's a good job. And he got a lot of brothers on the payroll up in there. where it's like about, look like about 50%, maybe I don't know about 50, maybe 40%. A lot of the people in there, a lot of the people in there who are hired are other black males, and he's like a lighter complected Hispanic guy. But I mean, and yeah, and I think his business is only worth a few million. But brothers should be doing that, man. Brothers should be doing that. You know what I'm saying? You got 15.7 million. You can have a telemarketing community just like this dude, and hire who the fuck you want to hire. You could do that with millions. A lot. Some of these millionaire companies didn't even start off with millions. And that's my thing, man. What are these black? That's why you going. That's why you have blacks who not trying to really invest in some of your black owned. Not to say that people aren't brainwashed and they're not going to do what they want to do anyway. It's not low self esteem, and they haven't been trained to think that white products are better because you hear about Benzes and Bentleys ever since you were a kid. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, of course they're going to teach you that everything about them is going to be better. But at the same time, the few black businesses that I've seen in my lifetime, which hasn't been that many because I was born uh, post segregation, or I was born right after quote unquote integration. So there were really no black businesses left for me in the first place. So one thing is it's hard to learn how to want to become a businessman yourself when you don't see that in your area. You don't grow up seeing that shit. That's why you got a lot of brothers who want to play for the NBA, but they don't want to start up their own ball league. You know what I'm saying? That's not by accident. That was by design. But my thing is too, man. I mean, when you are a black owned business, or you're a business owner, you have a responsibility to your people, especially when you know that you're gonna. If you don't do it, no one else is gonna do it. If you don't hire black people, nobody else is gonna do it, man. And like I said, a business I'm working for now is one of the first businesses I've seen where you have a large amount of black males who work in there, and it's not a one of those hard manual labor jobs. You have a sit down desk job, and you have a number of brothers in there who are sitting down, brothers and Hispanics. But it's like if he don't do it, how many this is the first job I've seen this on. A lot of jobs I've been on, even Burger King and McDonald's, they don't even want to hire black men. So I mean, you got $15.7 billion. Explain to me why your country's still fucked up. And he was saying, well, it's sad we got to go to Africa to find a billionaire. But here's the thing, he ain't doing shit. I'm not saying that he ain't built up. Congratulations, he's done his thing. But I'm not gonna go all the way out and find somebody in Nigeria just to say I bought a black owned vehicle, and none of that money is gonna circulate to my community anyway. Or my chances of working for that company or for my offspring or any of my friends, the chances of them to benefit in any type of way from that is going to be pretty much, it's not going to happen. So they said, well, I might as well give my money to whoever got the cheapest price, because it's not even easy to find black businesses. There's so few of them. You got to seek out and do all that research. And then when you finally find one, a lot of times the price is 3 times as much. It's like, come on, man. And then you ain't doing jack for your community? Come on, man. Somebody got to explain. Explain to me how you got $15.7 billion, and out of 182.2 million people, it's 100 million people living on less than $1 a day. Not either you don't care, or you a puppet for England, because they said the Brits once took over Nigeria, or something like that, where it's some type of angle, or one of the two, or both. But that's why you got people distraught like that, man, and say, well, what am I getting by pouring? Because whites know, man, if I pour something into this And to this, first of all, they grew up seeing businesses all around them. So since they're kids, they act. It's easy when you're white to be acclimated to feel that you should have your own business, that you should run a piece of the world. Because everybody who's controlling the world and controlling the community and your country and the world all have the same complexion as you. So it's easy to subconsciously just feel that way. But at the same time, they also realize that, hey, somebody like him is going to hire me or my brother or my sister or my mother, or has hired they know they're going to get something out of that, big. They ain't just doing that just to be doing that. That's why you got a lot of white people on there that subscribers, they have such high subscribers, because they know they're going to get something out of that. They know they people, if they haven't already gotten something out of that, they know if they ask that dude for support, that he's going to help them. A lot of these people, you got a lot of these black patrons on YouTube asking for help, but other brothers that's trying to come up, they won't even come out and check out other people's videos or like their videos. But then they want people to invest in them. The fuck? Why I only got this many patrons? Who you trying to help? Well, except for people who already, you feel that's already at a certain plateau. Who you reaching back for? That brother who just starting out, who you checking out his stuff? You won't even get his video a like. But you crying. You feel like you should have a certain amount over these white people. A lot of these white people, man, even the dudes who get these patrons, they looking around, they supporting the top, even looks down to the bottom and see, and yeah, they helping all around. They got the whole thing covered, bro. If a dude pop out that's just starting out, hey bro, check me out, man. Oh yeah, man, I check, you know what I'm saying? That's the, not all whites stick together, not all of any race. But at the same time, though, they have more camaraderie than we do, because we've been taught self-hate. And I'm not saying that's an excuse to get off the hook, but I'm just saying a lot of your black business owners want the world, but they ain't giving back shit. They definitely, a lot of times too, they definitely don't want to get nothing for free. You find a lot of whites putting on free events for everybody. Free food, free this, free that. Not saying I always want something free, but you want something, you gotta give some a little bit, bro. You know what I'm saying? You up here, you just see it one way. These whites, they these other groups that stick together, it's an all around thing. They looking at it as a group. Like this one white guy, he does commentary on supplements for people who building, trying to build themselves up to be strong, and taking these supplements, and some people, they take this testosterone and stuff like that. He said, we all the family, man. He said, we in this together. And you know what? I comment on his video, and you know what? Me being black, he'll comment back. Now, and this white man, and I don't want to put his name out there. This white dude has that's where some of you so-called black business people, y'all fuck up. Now this white dude, he's an Italian white dude, right? He has a lot of subscribers. You know what I'm saying? He does videos on fitness and people who choose to take, steroids. He gives them advice. Now, it's primarily advice for his people. But if you happen to watch his channel, you get it too. Fuck it. But he know who it's for. You comment on his video, he'll respond back to you. Me being black, he respond back to you. You got a lot of these so-called black YouTubers trying to ask for patrons and all this stuff like that. You'll put something on their comment, you ask a question, and they think they too good to answer your question. You ever encountered that? You ever encountered that? But you wonder why people ain't supporting you? And you think you too good to even answer your own comment section. That's why you fucked up. So it's a two-way street, man. And this dude I'm mentioning got way more followers than a lot of you black so-called YouTubers trying to give out the truth. But see, he see the bigger picture. You motherfuckers don't. He see the bigger picture, man. And I ain't trying to be all over their nuts or anything like that, because they don't need me to be on their nuts anyway. But I'm saying that's what they see, the bigger picture, man. You know what I'm saying? He knows. I comment on his section. I'm gonna make it seem like it's open up to everybody. Now everybody really know who is primarily for, but I'm gonna try to put it out there like I'm gonna help everybody. But just by commenting on him or commenting on this person, yo, it's still twice as much as what he probably gets from his own people. Because you get these so-called black YouTubers, they start to get a little followers. They feeling themselves. They too good for you now. Black athletes, the same way, get a little money in their pocket. They too good for you. They better than you. See, I tell you a story. When I worked at as a summer camp counselor in Albany, New York, we took the I said I was one of the lead counselors. I said, well, they said, well, come up with an idea of a place we could take the kids, ages 6 to 11. So I said, well, why don't you take them to U Albany? Because at the time, the Giants had their training camp on U Albany campus, and you can come see them for free. And I said, well, yeah, why don't we have a little field trip for the kids? It was a free summer camp. It's for minority kids who really couldn't pay to get a real nice summer camp. But I mean, it was still decent though. And I worked for them. I said, yeah, why don't you have the kids come up to the school to U Albany and see some of the players, come up and they can bring their T-shirts or whatever, footballs, and they might even get them signed. And we brought the kids and everything. And I think one of the players, Shockey or something like that, he played for the Giants back in the day. The white girl was walking around like, ooh, Shockey signed my T-shirt. And she was so happy, and he came through. You know that big head, the damn big head Negro, Tiki Barber, said he wasn't gonna even walk through. This is when he was playing before he became a broadcaster. He said he wasn't gonna walk back through there because he didn't want everybody coming at him. He like he was too big to walk back through there. So then he ended up going to NBC. I think he got a girlfriend. He worked for them for a little while. I think about 10 years, and they fired him. Then he tried to come back to the NFL at 36 and want nobody to pick him up. My point is this, man. Some of y'all step on your own toes with that big head shit. So-called black business, because it don't take much for your average black. You can give them a few likes, just like some of these females on here. You can get them a few likes, and they get to their head, see? But now that you don't have the money that you used to have, now you want to cry about it. Yo, man. Understand. Support goal is a two-way street, bro. It's a two-way street, bro. You got your ass in the air when everything's going good. And that's what a lot of our people, you got blacks that don't support black businesses, but you got black businesses that don't support blacks neither. Because who gonna explain this shit to me about Aliko Dangote? I bet you he don't even really talk to blacks. You see that? And I'm not saying you befriend everybody in the black community because you feel it's your duty, but at least make it look good. If people look like you is in 61% poverty, because you know what a lot of whites are gonna do. A lot of them are calling for help for Africa more than blacks. Why is that? You got 15.7 million. If you control that money, how is everybody in your country just about broke? You got 15.7 billion, bro. If you really do control that wealth, you can set up some businesses. Show nobody you can restructure a middle class by yourself. By yourself. And then you asking why black people don't support black businesses? Black businesses ain't supporting black people. There's your answer. Unless you can tell me about this shit. About how the fuck you can have $15.7 billion in your country ain't shit. Unless you got a better explanation. You want blacks to support black businesses? Black businesses got to support black communities and black people, at least to some extent. Because like I said, I can have a black business. I ain't gonna give every thug a job, but at least you're gonna look for people who don't have, who people that you think either don't have records or brothers that you think that are truly rehabilitated and put them on, and people, you know what I'm saying? At least try to look for some. You know what I'm saying? That's a two-way street, man. Nah, because if I'm pouring all my business into another black business that ain't going to support me, I might as well go to a Korean or a Chinaman or something like that. Yeah, he don't give a fuck about me, but neither do the black. That money ain't going to go to my community, but neither will it go to my community if I support Nigeria or a homegrown black business. No festivals, no events. When they cut out the main event in Rochester where blacks used to go there and play ball, I didn't see any of them black businesses say, well, we're going to create something for y'all so y'all can, you know what I'm saying, we're going to support y'all. Nothing, B. So in order to get support, you got to give support, bro. Don't cry now. This shit ain't going good. You supposed to be, you should have been showing love from day one. Then you can expect love. Yeah, you got people. Yeah, all arrogant with it. It don't take much for us to get a big head, bro. Not much at all. A few dollars. You know, like these ball players. I was talking with his brother today. I was working with these ball players. He said, man, they look at you like you ain't nothing. I said, I know. He said, Cam Newton. He said, man, that dude one of the biggest assholes I ever met. I said, I believe you. Because it don't take much for them to get a big head thinking that shit gonna last forever. Then when they fall, oh, why I ain't getting support? Nigga, please, you ain't never getting on your goddamn shit. But somebody can answer that for me. If you can, leave a comment. If you're not too good, if you don't think you're too arrogant, leave a comment. Okay? Like and subscribe, like I said before. Now, like I said, I'm not saying blacks should continue on this trend from buying from other people. I think they should start small-owned businesses within their own group and work it like that. But of course, we have a trust issue amongst our people. But I can kind of see where the breakdown has happened. It's not just on the side of the people. It's also the businesses are equally as guilty. Just like the dude who owned BET at one point, supposedly owned BET. You know, where's the productive black content? Where are the events? Where's the support for the protests? Where you at, man? Again, be sure to like and subscribe. And if you felt me, cool. But I know this rubbed a few the wrong way, and I ain't even try to rub nobody the wrong way. I'm just giving truth to you. But if you felt offended, maybe you should. And I'm glad.